See, this is the jalapeno, the mini jalapeno. It's got so many bugs on it. This one has bugs. It doesn't seem like it's as infested as the mini jalapeno. Hello, howdy, and welcome back to another grow update. I'm Catherine, the Aerogarden Homesteader. So this is the spicy pepper with the mild, not sure what this is. This one's starting to wrinkle up as well. I'm going to let it dry on the vine. These two are drying up. This one's starting to change color, so I need to probably think about making some chicken chili or some spicy salsa. Big one there. And in some sad news, my cabbage split. So I looked it up, and apparently it's from getting too much water at the end of the season. So I think what might have happened was the cabbage was firming up. It was starting to get really, it looked like it was getting near the end, even though it was really small. And I think because it's just sitting in lots of water, it split. Which is funny because it didn't seem like it was sucking up a lot of water. Now this one over here, it never really closed up. I don't know if you can see that. I'm kind of limited by where the light is and all that, but so I think I'm going to take this apart in the next couple of days. I got some stuff to make salad, so I can just cut this up and use it. It's really sad. You know, I'm really bummed about that. I was so looking forward to getting a nice big head of cabbage and being able to make like coleslaw with it, or I really wanted to do sauerkraut, but it was also one of those things where in my head I knew this was kind of like a weird, it's a unitasker. It's kind of like the leeks. It's taken up a lot of space, a lot of time, a lot of resources, and I've gotten nothing from it yet. So, versus like, you know, a pepper plant. Look at all the flowers on here. Holy cow. But I've gotten lots of food out of this Aerogarden and nothing out of this one. But anyways, that's a different story. So I've had to do a little bit of shuffling around because I need some space in here again. But I think in the next couple of days, this one is going to go down as well. Now I'll make a special video about this one because I'm going to make a small batch of cowboy candy. But what I would like to do is I'm going to cut this one down, probably prune it really hard, give it a few days in the Aerogarden to kind of recover from the stress of the pruning. I'm going to prune the roots and the tops. Then I am going to go and pot it outside. Well, I'm going to take it outside, pot it, and then I'll keep the plants indoors until it's warm enough to keep them outside permanently. So I'll put them in probably the smallest pot it can handle, and then when it gets a little bit bigger, if it handles the transplant shock, I will bump it up to a big pot for its final outdoor stay. I will eventually do the same thing with this one, but for now, I might leave this one indoors. I probably will try to come through, and at the same time as I prune the one, I will prune the other. See, this is the jalapeno, the mini jalapeno. It's got so many bugs on it. This one has bugs. It doesn't seem like it's as infested as the mini jalapeno. So, for the seedlings, most of them are in the room right now. It had been rainy and drizzly the last couple of days, so I have had to swap things around so that, see how they're laying horizontally under the lights now? Those are horizontally under the lights. These ones have been going outside. They went out yesterday because it was actually sunny for the first time in a couple of days. So they went out, so they're under vertically, or I guess the other way. Not really vertically, but I had to add another light. That's why the two peppers are crowded, because the sunflowers started coming up, and as you can see, they're leaning. So had to get them under the lights. So both of these were leaning actually, and this one has recovered pretty nicely. But they're trying to keep them under the lights so that they can recover. They are a little leggy. I don't know how tall they're supposed to get right away, but we'll see. I don't know how tall the autumn garden or the autumn sunflower is supposed to get, but it's a red one. That's why the stalks are red. So these are the tomatoes. They're looking really good. They need to be up-potted, and I just have no room. So I might have to take the time and just start up-potting them, because look at these ones. These ones are huge. But I need to take the time to up-pot them, and then just, kitchen table, dining room table, counters, everywhere. You're just going to end up with plants everywhere. So these are the ones I up-potted. Some of them are a little crowded still, like the marigold back there and the, what is this? I think this is the basil. Yeah, that's basil. This is basil. These basils aren't too bad. There's like 2 to 4 per cup, so they're doing pretty good. I got a whole bunch of the little seedlings over here have started coming up. They'll be fine for a little while. And then it's over here, I've got the California poppy is coming up pretty good. Even the amaranth started. I don't know if you can see in there. Little tiny amaranths. So this is, I think this is Joseph's Coat amaranth, which is supposed to be edible. I think all amaranth is edible, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But these are the nasturtium. They came up beautifully. I think I only planted 2 seeds per pot. Not 100% sure on that, I don't remember. And then the coneflower is still going. Got a little tiny seedling there, and a little tiny one back there. So they are just barely starting. Oops, right there, there's another one. And then this is the calendula. So this is a really good update on what has been going on. And then outside I still have most of the stuff. Now I had to take the tent off the grow tent because it was just getting up to 50 during the day, which means it was getting almost to be 100 in the tent. But I will go and show you those later. And even though the cabbage was sad news, I do have some happy news, which I will show you in a minute, about the other Aerogarden. So stay tuned. I wanted to show you that I'm up-potting some of these, the herbs and flowers. So they are, obviously they have been growing like a ton. So I'm going to get them out of these wells and into slightly bigger pots. So hopefully I can hold off on having to put them in something even bigger. I do need to separate some of these, but they just don't have the space right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get them into these bigger pots just as a group, so it gives them a little bit more growing space. And then after that, hopefully when I can get the pea shoots in the ground, which have started growing, then I can upgrade these to bigger, more individual sized pots. So right now they're just going to stay together in a group. If they do well in a group, I might leave them in a group depending on how many there are. So I think there's only 2 in here. That's probably fine. This one's got 2 as well, so that's probably fine. But see, this one's got 4. That's a little bit much. So, but we'll see how they do, because you know what? Not all the little seedlings survive. Okay, we'll just have to see. And now I do have, so I got 3 extra pots here because I do have space in one of my tomato wells to put additional plants. And then I've got these smaller, it's just a smaller cube. So it'll hold a few as well, but I gotta empty them out first. So I'm gonna get them going. I will just speed through this. I don't know how interesting this is, but this is just something that kind of needs to get done sometimes. You gotta up-pot things, move things around. I don't know what this green thing is. I guess we'll let it grow and find out. Yeah, I got 2 more basils, or at least 2 more purple basils. And then I got the green basil, which I might put one of the basils in with the tomatoes, simply because they're the ones that I think I've got, only got like them in the one row. I think I just lost where'd it go? There it is. And this is the last one. Put another green one in there. So just make a little space with the back of the spoon, drop in the plug, and then I kind of fill in some of the dirt around it. There is a little bit of water in the bottom of my tray here because the dirt is a little on the dry side, so this will wick up and help water them. Boy, it is, it's cold out today. It's still pretty early in the morning. Okay, so this is the green basil. Regular basil, I guess, the case may be. They are definitely, there's definitely a lot more little plants in there. So they will definitely need to be divided up once I have space, and that is really what it boils down to. So some of it is actually a space issue. Some of it is just a tray issue. I bought a bunch of trays and I thought, oh, 10 more trays, that'll be fine. Apparently 10 more trays was not fine. So, I need more trays, but the store doesn't have any more of the nice sturdy heavy-duty trays, so kind of limited to just doing it with these trays that I have. Oh, you can already smell the basil. Okay, I'm going to do marigold next. Alright, well, I think you get the point. I'm just going to keep going on these. You will see these on the plant update when I do that in a couple of days' time. There we go. This is our raised bed that we just finished building. It's actually in a high tunnel right now, and I am going to get my garlic in the ground. It's been sitting in the fridge for obviously long enough to sprout, so I need to break them apart and get them in the ground. So it's about 1 to 2 inches deep, pointy end up, so you've got the root end and the pointy end, and then it says about 2 to 3 inches apart. So I'm going to get those going. I'm going to put them on the edge here. And then I gotta water them because it is awful dry in here. I'm just gonna space them out and get them in the ground. So we got some mulch on here, so I'm gonna have to uncover the mulch and then put it in, pointy end up, and then get that covered up. So I'm gonna cover it with a little bit of mulch again, just to get it going, but not too much. I do want it to have a way to come out from under the mulch. I don't want the mulch to inhibit its growth. So 2 to 3 inches, oh, 3 to 4 inches apart. That's not too far. So that's all I'm going to be doing. So get her going. Well, I got them all in. I put some of the really tiny ones up against the corner posts, but a bit of a mess everywhere. This is actually my first year planting garlic, and I could only get it in the store in the spring. So that's actually why I put it in the fridge, so I could vernalize it, and hopefully that will be good enough. So I guess we'll see. Some of them did start sprouting, so I guess it's just a matter of wait and see. In better news, compared to the cabbage at least, these two are doing great. This has lots of little peppers in here, lots of flowers. It's doing really well. This pepper is actually doing really well. It looks like it's close to harvest if I wanted a green. Under here there's a couple more. This has just been putting out a ton of little cherry tomatoes. They've been doing really well. They're growing bigger by the day. I had 2 back here that I harvested. There's a nice big one there. So, I looked up the life cycle of spider mites. It is anywhere between 8 and 21 days. So I am just going to keep spraying with the 70% rubbing alcohol every other day. I've been basically just doing it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I think that spider mites lay eggs, and that is why you have to go for so long, because you don't want the eggs hatching and then causing a new infestation. So I am going to keep going. Just if I got to go for the rest of April, I'll do that. I was hoping to just finish out March and see how it's doing, but we'll see, because I want them gone. But these are doing really well, so yay. Just wanted to show you that now that I've harvested it and I can see in there properly, I don't know if you can see, it did start forming a small little head, but it's tiny. I did end up harvesting it. This one, it's probably 4 inches across, but it's split. So, see if it is usable. I hope it is, because it's be an awful big waste if I can't. And finally, everything that is outside. Here are the new pea seeds. They are coming up quite nicely. Got lots of them, so hopefully that will fill up the whole section of trellis for them. Down here I've got the mustard greens. They are also doing pretty good. This is the cauliflower. It's looking okay. I had a few of them that didn't make it. They were really small, so I'm kind of not surprised. I think I got another one back there that didn't make it as well. This one looks like it's struggling, but it is what it is. I don't need a ton of cauliflower. The onions are doing pretty good, and so are the leeks. Celery is doing its thing, but I don't know, I can't tell if it's not doing well or if it's just being slow. It's hard to tell. This is the broccoli that I did a little while back. Some of them are doing really well, and others are still struggling. These ones are struggling as well. It has been kind of cold in the morning, so I don't think this one made it. And since I took the structure off the tent, oh yeah, see that ground is just frozen. They are a little more exposed to the elements, so really I should just try to get them in the ground. And then, this is the cabbage. Again, I had some that didn't quite make it, but the rest of them are doing pretty darn good, actually. So, again, hopefully I can get these in the ground as well. It'd be nice to get all of these in the ground. Well, I hope you found this video useful. I will put up a few other videos at the end, so you can go and explore more of how this garden is coming together and how the indoor garden did. Thank you for watching my videos, and I will see you next time on the Aerogarden Homestead.